So my little announcement, I guess. I don't want to over hype it up, I guess. So I'll just come out with it. I am going.
Yes! I'm done! I can't! I can't! I can't do this anymore! I can't!
That is the perfect timing of that, isn't it? That's it. I was actually done. I'm going. Bye. Right, so I am going. In a way, I am going back to university. I am going to be doing a PhD. And it pretty much starts tomorrow. Officially, anyway. No, it doesn't. I'm not actually doing anything tomorrow, but the term officially starts tomorrow. It's part-time, so...
Jesus!
It's going to be 7 years. So it's a long time before you can call me Dr. Bruff. Dr. Bruffy. Oh yeah, not maths. Definitely not maths. So the subject is a PhD in media communications and performance. That is like the official name of the course, I guess. The title of because basically a PhD is just one big piece of research. There's no, or at least for mine, at least there's not going to be any taught lectures or anything like that. I'm just doing it all on my own. And the title of my thesis is, I'm making sure to read it because there's no way that I'll mess it up with my tiredness today. From viewer to supporter, what drives involvement in and monetization of online communities? So in essence, I'm doing a PhD about you guys. Don't worry, you're not being, like I'm not going to be looking at what you're doing or what you're saying or anything like that. Like it'll be survey based, and I'll be asking you to fill out surveys if you want to. Like it'll be that way. In a way, it's very similar to, it's like a combination of my master's degree dissertation was on a very similar topic. It was why people were getting involved, and then went on to support the game on a Football Manager game I used to play, Hat-Trick, as I've mentioned before. And I did my master's dissertation on that. And this is going to be kind of like a extrapolation of that on a much bigger scale and more relevant to, YouTube creators, Twitch creators, things like that. Ideally, it won't just be me asking you guys to fill in these surveys. Ideally, I can get, all the people who I've met on the content creator space to hopefully push out some surveys for me, have a massive amount of responses that I can sift through a load of data, and, it could be quite a significant thing in this field of research. So yeah, I obviously haven't started it, and the process of getting through, just even getting to this point where I'm starting a PhD over the last year. I basically decided about a year ago that I wanted to do it, and it's Xerxes going back to uni and studying that's kind of inspired me as well. But yeah, it's been an adventure, because it's not just like you can sign up to do a PhD. You have to find a supervisor in your area, and then that supervisor has to actually agree to want to work with you and supervise your work. And you just got to find these people. You got to go on these university websites and just try to sift through people and find them. So it's been. There were many moments where I thought, okay, this isn't going to work. There's no way I'm going to actually be able to find anyone to do any of this for me or supervise my work. There's no way that I'm good enough to do this. I got a really snotty email response from one of the people who I emailed about it. So it's basically been quite the journey just in the last year to get to this point. But I'm all signed up. It's all ready to go. It's all started. I'm all enrolled, and it's starting this month basically. And yeah, for some of you asking why, I want to. Sorry about the email. I want to. I was actually considering. Obviously, I sent out those surveys. We did the survey. I did this. Was it 2017? I think I did a survey of you guys asking, what you liked and stuff like that to try and direct it. I haven't done that since, but I just find it interesting. Honestly, I find this topic incredibly interesting. What makes you guys go from viewers to then supporters and more? I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating to wonder if it's different in different communities. What are the driving forces behind all of this? I was considering just doing it on my own, honestly. I was considering just sending out some surveys to you guys to find out, just because I wanted to do some research on it, just for the interest. And then I thought, well, maybe if I'm going to do that anyway, I might as well try to formalize it in a PhD in a research field that isn't exactly the most researched. It's a very new thing, all of this. So it's not as if there's it's not like doing a PhD in, I don't know, physics or something, where you've got tons and tons of years of research going into it. So more work, yes, pretty much way more. So yeah, I'm nervous. There's been lots of self-doubt during the whole thing. I've never experienced condescension quite like some of the meetings I had with prospective advisors advising professors for a PhD who set up a meeting solely to tell me why I wasn't good enough to study under them. Yeah, I haven't had that experience, belligerent, but I have had the condescending email response, basically saying you're not good enough to do this. And I believed it in the first half an hour of me getting that email, and then it immediately switched to fuck that guy, I'm going to do it anyway. So yeah, it's been quite the journey the last year. I'm proud of just having gotten to this point, and there's a lot of work ahead, obviously. But you guys will. I mean, I'm probably not gonna be talking about it. It's not as if I'm moving to university. You guys mentioned Freshers Week. I'm not doing any of that. I technically have a staff account at my university, so I can access things, but I'm not going to be going to lectures or anything. It's all self-done work. It's just going to be a big research project that I'm doing. But I find it interesting, and it's related to what I do and what I work with. So, and I think it has the potential to be a fairly, a piece of research that has some consequence, because there's a lot of people potentially I can reach for surveys and answering questions and stuff, not just in you guys in my community, but all these other people who I know. And I don't think, from what I've seen, the bits of research that have been done on this topic so far, one of them was asking people at TwitchCon their thoughts on this, and it was a maximum of 300 people. And there's an inherent bias in that, because you're asking people who are already at a convention for the platform and the supporters that they're supporting. So you don't really get any idea of what people who are just watching, what the barriers are for them to get further. Technically, you're an expert. Yeah, technically I am I've got a leg up because I kind of have an inkling anyway, and that allows me to focus the research a bit better, I suppose. But you'll finish it in time for GTA 6. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm probably not going to talk about it that much until one day where you guys will I'll put up a video asking you guys to answer some surveys or something. That'll be the point where I need data, but that's a lot. That's quite far down the line. There's a lot of stuff that you got to do before that. So thank you guys, because without you guys, this wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing this, and it wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to do it in the first place. I wouldn't be able to send out. I could be incredibly interested in all of it, but not have anyone to send surveys to, so I wouldn't be able to do it. It's just the perfect mix of. It's just the perfect mix, really, of everything. That I'm in the right place at the right time and the right interest and the right level. I've already done a master's degree to do a piece of work in a PhD like this. So, yeah, it should be fun. It's obviously Oxford. I had an interview at Oxford when I was 18. I was on my 18th birthday. I was in Oxford in a dingy, horrible little room doing interviews for acceptance to the university. And it was the most miserable time of my life. And that was my 18th birthday. There'll probably be, I'll probably share results and stuff. I'll probably make a video asking people to fill out surveys, and then I'll make a video telling people all the results of everything, so you don't have to read it all on your own. It's much more fun just to live in Oxford without the stress of going to uni. Yeah, it's a nice city, nice place. That's the trouble as well. Going back into education in a way, 10 years later was significantly more difficult. It's not as if, because I didn't know anyone. Like, I was actually offered to do a PhD when I finished my master's dissertation, but I just did not want to do it. I was done with education at that point. And that was 10 years ago. And I contacted the guy who was my supervisor for that dissertation, who offered me it, but he'd retired. Everyone who I knew had retired. I needed like references, and I had to go contact people who were like the lead of my course who'd moved on to a different university at that point. It was jumping through a lot of hoops. The PhD might be easier than getting onto a PhD course. But it's exciting. And I'm happy that you're all happy for me about it. Thank you for all the love and the positivity about it.